Okay, traders, in this video, what I'd like to do is walk you through a tutorial on how to integrate the TickBlaze platform and interactive brokers for your live trading accounts. Now, when you're on the TickBlaze website, if you just hover over platform, you're going to see that there's a connections page and a documentation. Let's go to the connections page first. And as you can see, under multi-asset brokers, interactive brokers is one of our preferred partners. They allow for futures, crypto stocks, foreign exchange, CFDs, data, and live trading. Now, as you're going through this tutorial video, I also encourage you to go to the wiki. You can access that through the documentation tab on the drop-down. Once again, if you just go here, just under documentation. And it's really easy to just go to the search tab and type in interactive and hit enter, and you're going to see that there's interactive brokers here. Now, there's a lot of information on this page because interactive brokers basically requires you to set some settings inside of your global configuration when you get your account set up. And obviously this video assumes that you've already loaded TickBlaze and you've already got a live brokerage account with interactive brokers. Now, one thing I want to mention, and this isn't for us to deter you away from using interactive brokers for paper trading. We've just found that the paper trading engine inside of interactive brokers is very limited. You don't have the ability to reset the paper trading account actively. We found some bugs with it, and for that reason, we would highly encourage you to just stick to interactive brokers for either data and live trading, but not for simulated paper trading. Now, as I go through the examples, I would encourage you to just pay notice to this image here. What's really important is you go into the settings under API inside of your configuration, and you're going to notice that there's a socket port that says 7496. You're also going to notice that all of these boxes have check marks. Just double check that your settings are matching this image to make sure that everything is configured properly. If you're using a gateway, you can follow along and you can basically configure things as well, but it's just as you see fit depending on your needs. Now, there's both broker connections, which we're going to go over today, and there's also data connections, which we're also going to go over today. So as I'm going through this demonstration, please follow along and let's get started. Now, I've loaded essentially the TickBlaze platform on the left. I've got interactive brokers on the right. Please note that this is a live brokerage account. You'll notice that this is set up not for simulation. This is a test account. I've got a couple grand in here for the purpose of filming. This is an educational video and it's not intended for live trading. Now, what's really important that you know is that the first thing that we normally like everybody to do is to understand how to make a few changes inside of TickBlaze to get the broker sync connected properly. So you're going to go into menu and go to tools, and then you're going to go to options. And it's very important that you go to options and you go to runtime, and then you make sure that sync broker positions is turned on. And what this does is this allows you to execute or fill or control or close your positions inside the brokerage account so that it syncs the positions inside of TickBlaze. Okay, and we're going to get into these demonstrations in just a minute. Now, when you open up an account for interactive brokers, they're going to give you your account number, okay? And when you load TickBlaze, you go to the connections tab. TickBlaze ultimately allows for data connections as well as broker connections. Now, depending on where you've come into the TickBlaze infrastructure, you may have purchased TickBlaze directly off of the website as an end user. If that is the case, you will have a built-in DXFeed data feed connected by default. If you've purchased TickBlaze via a prop firm or through one of our partners or other supporting brokers, you may or may not have the DXFeed default connection. If you do have the default DXFeed connection, there is no need for you to rely on live market data inside of interactive brokers. When you set up an account with interactive brokers, you're automatically going to get a delayed data feed. If you want live data, you can purchase live data via interactive brokers, but it has been our experience that the data quality is not as high as we would like to see with some of the other providers. They are known for throttling some of their tick data, and if you're an active day trader, that may not be what you want. However, If you are using end of day data, or you don't care if you need real-time data, and let's say you're swing trading or investing, well, then Interactive Brokers data may be sufficient for you. So in the event you need to ultimately use an Interactive Brokers data connection, you would just go to New Data Connection. You would go here to Interactive Brokers, hit Next. You could put this as like IB data as an example, hit Next. And what's going to happen is you're going to notice that it's automatically connected to the port, and that's it. You don't even have to input data or anything like that, because what Interactive Brokers requires you to be is loaded. Like, in order for the data to work on TickBlaze, you would need Interactive Brokers to be also loaded, their TWS workspace in the background, launched and connected. It's reading the APIs through the ports and the IP host, okay? So ultimately, you could do that. If you wanted to connect to the data, you could connect to Interactive Brokers data. I'm not going to do that for this video because I do not pay for Interactive Brokers live data. I don't use Interactive Brokers data. I just set the live brokerage accounts for trading. Now, what's important is that if you are using DXFeed or any other data provider, you will most likely get higher quality data by doing so. Okay, now I think I've driven that home well enough. Let's discuss now the brokerage side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to connections, and you're going to notice here under broker connections, by default, you would basically be connected to simulation. So let me just connect to simulation here for a second. You'll notice that by default, I have a sim account, and by default, you see sim account here, etc. And that's a simulator, right? So we encourage you, if you are using Interactive Brokers for live trading, there's no need to use their simulators. You could just use TickBlaze, connect to data, and then ultimately trade on our simulators. The reason for it is you can reset your account balances, you have more flexibility to add multiple sim accounts, etc. Right? If you wanted to, I could create more sim accounts here, and I could reset this one if I wanted to. It's very difficult to do that with Interactive Brokers because they don't allow that for simulation trading flexibility. However, they're very well known for live trading, and they're very accurate. They have very good brokerage services, and that's the purpose of this video. So let's go in here and ultimately go to the connections, and you're going to need to set up a live brokerage account. So when you do that, you're going to go to New Broker Connection. You're going to go to Interactive Brokers. You're going to go to Next. You can name this as, IB Live, right? And I'll put 2 because I think I already have that name. Hit Next. And this is where you need to take your account code. You'll see up here on the window on the top right, it says my account number. I would enter it here. Okay, and then ultimately you'll notice that the port is 7496. If you go into the wiki, you'll see that is exactly what is inside of our instructions. You'll also notice if I go to File and I go to Global Configurations under API, okay, and then go to Settings, you'll see that the socket port says that here as well. Now make sure that all of these are as well checked, like it's inside of that image, inside of the wiki, and you'll be in good shape. Now I'm going to cancel this because I already have it set up as a connection. And if you notice here, I've already got live Interactive Brokers. So I'm just going to open up the settings. I'm going to go here, live, and you'll notice that I've entered my account number and I have finished. Now by doing so, I'm going to connect to the live brokerage account, and you'll see it reload. You'll see broker connected. And give it a second here. It's connecting there. It says Live Interactive Brokers. Okay. Now this is very important because now you can actually see the accounts in the drop down. You can see it up here as well on the chart. Okay. And you can ultimately see everything here that is basically confirming that everything is connected properly. If for whatever reason these numbers do not line up with your live account, then make sure you've entered the right information. Okay. Now, there's 2 ways to execute. Now I've got Interactive Brokers on the right with just a chart, and you'll notice here I've got just my portfolio data here, and I've just got a trade history just so that I can ultimately just keep track of any executed orders or any open positions, etc. Now for the most part, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy market on a micro contract. You'll notice here that I am now long one position. You'll notice a little order complete bot just popped up here with Interactive Brokers. You'll also see that I have a position long on M2K here, and you'll also notice that it went green on the chart. This tells you that I'm actually in a live position in a live brokerage account, and you have 2 ways to manage this position. Okay, you can manage it from TickBlaze, and you can just close the position. Okay, so if I do this, You'll notice that I executed the trade. It fired off into Interactive Brokers. You'll see the little warning dot here that popped up, or this little warning message. You'll see I no longer have an open position here on this market. Now, if I were to do the exact same thing again and just buy another contract, okay, you'll see the warning message came up. I am now long one contract on the M2K in my live brokerage account. You can see that. But if I wanted to manage the position from inside of Interactive Brokers, then you need to make sure, like I said earlier, you go here and you turn on Broker Sync. What this enables you to do is it enables you to kill the position inside of Interactive Brokers. This is a safety mechanism that allows you to be able to manage the positions from either inside of TickBlaze or inside of Interactive Brokers. And you'll go here to File, account, excuse me, and you go to Close All Positions, hit 100%. You make sure that you're there at market. You can close this 100% at market, hit OK, and then hit Proceed, hit Yes. It said Order Filled. And there it is. It says position synchronized, position closed, and you've just sent the order from Interactive Brokers into TickBlaze. And that way you can see that there's no more positions open and everything has been filled and killed on both sides. Now, the reason I explain this is because sometimes traders want to manage their positions on the TickBlaze platform, but if something ever happened, for whatever reason, platform had a crash or internet went out, you always have the ability to execute your positions inside of Interactive Brokers, and it'll send the orders directly back to TickBlaze so that you can see those orders being fulfilled on both sides, okay? And so for the most part, that's pretty much it. If you are new to trading and you have your account set up with Interactive Brokers and you need any assistance, we'd be more than happy to help you go over any questions. If you need us to do a remote install and kind of help you configure your settings, we can also do that as well. But this video should give you the bare bones on how to connect your data, how to connect your brokerage account, how to execute trades from both sides on both platforms, and making sure that Broker Sync is engaged. Now, I'm going to go back here just to verify that you know where the wiki is. You can go in here and you can watch the documentation guide here, and this will explain all your settings and everything that I've just basically gone over. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions on Interactive Brokers into TickBlaze, we'd be more than happy to help. Take care, traders, and talk to you soon.